So Nick and I at Great T, I mean, do you have any additional information on the tunnels that you want to share?
I know the whole thing about the tunnels. Did you call me about the tunnels? Somebody called me about the tunnels.
I think I texted you and I said that we need to protect our boys.
Well, I think now it's
because a lot of people
I think now
besmirching
it's
us.
I think now it's pretty known. But basically, there's this faction. I don't know how interested your
Don't
audience
give the
will
boring
be in this.
answer. Give a funny
I'm giving
answer.
the boring. Oh, because he talks 16 minutes about his tooth. I can't talk about this.
You were asking questions about
Exactly.
it.
Well, I'm the guest.
I don't care.
Okay, so
I
thank
didn't
you.
invite you.
Okay, so thank you. There's a faction in the Are you Jewish?
Yes,
Is he?
of course.
I'm not Jewish.
Okay,
He's
but
Jewish.
anyway, there's
I-
different
I-
kinds. You know, there's different
I know
kinds
about-
of Hasidics.
yes,
We
I
know.
understand.
We've talked about the truth.
I understand what the tunnels are for. They've already been told. Adam's explained it.
I explained it already on the show.
He's throwing it to you to give a joke answer.
It was a joke
Okay,
answer. It was like
but
at
wait,
midnight.
what did you tell him?
That these guys, that the Rebbe had
You just
plans
wanna
to
make it
expand
bigger,
770. Yeah.
They
That's
don't want
not
to get
true.
permits.
That's
No.
not true.
There were
That's
these.
not true.
What is it? So
What
give us
is
the
it?
truth.
Is there's a faction when the Rebbe died, everybody mourned him, but there was a small faction of Lubavitch Jews who considered him the Messiah, the Mashiach.
Myself included.
This faction grew a little bit, and they felt like this is his temple. That's where he was the rabbi. That's where he was, the Alter Rebbe and all that. And they wanted a bigger place for the idea of him being the Mashiach, the Messiah. So they
Yeah.
were trying to, not expand what was already there, but make almost a separate space under there, and eventually maybe take over the rest of it. I don't know about that. But they were trying, there's now infighting a little bit, some who believe he was the Messiah and some who don't believe. Most people don't believe, but the few people that believe were trying to make more room for that.
Why would you believe that he was?
I know.
I mean, it's
I know,
like
because
then
everything is
it's like
still shit.
exactly. It's like, well, then fuck this. I mean, stop.
Well, then you're Christian.
no more religion here.
Yeah, like it didn't come.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Well, then
Like
it's coming back.
If Christ
like
came back,
Jesus.
if there was a second coming of
Yeah.
Christ, right? And he's like, oh, here I am, and he proves it. He's the Son of God, and they're like, great. So like, can you
Peace
fix
on
anything?
earth.
He's like, nah, I can open a fucking CarMax franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No,
Well, wouldn't it
is
be the
bizarre.
third coming? Because he died and then he came back 4 days later, no?
Yeah, but the second coming of Christ is
Yeah, the
the-
messianic
the
age.
war with the Antichrist.
What's the Antichrist?
The Antichrist
It's
is
probably one of the two of us.
Yeah.
Have you had Shia LaBeouf on yet? He's a Catholic now.
I'd love to have him on. You want to know about the Antichrist?
Yeah, what is it?
Ask Nick.
Yeah, the Antichrist, all the Christian Zionists, they believe that there's going to be the third temple will be built, and that
The Beis HaMikdash.
and the Antichrist will put himself in the throne of God at the third temple.
So can't we get on with just building this temple? and
That's
see
what
what's
That's
up?
what evangelicals want to
Well,
do.
that's what I've said.
Oh, so they have
since-
so much money. They build all kinds of churches.
This is Nick's plan for peace in the Middle East.
So are they building it or what?
First of all, here's the thing. Israel can go into Gaza and they can kill 2 million people. They
Right.
can do that and there will not be any kind of meaningful consequence. The Arab world's not going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any. So the humanitarian solution is for Israel, likewise, to just blow up the Al-Aqsa Mosque and build the third temple.
Right, and
A lot
they
less
need the
people
red
die.
cow. They need a red
A
cow.
lot less people will die. The Arab world will do nothing except get mad. There might be like a little bit of terrorism, but nobody's going to die. You build the third temple, and then nothing happens, and then we can stop.
But
we
where's
stop
the
playing
third
this game.
temple? Because like people like Joel
On the Temple
Olson
Mount.
or
It's
all
on the
those.
Mount.
You have to build
Oh, it
on
has to
It's
be
where
somewhere
the-
specific.
it's
Okay,
on the
because I'm
Temple
saying
Mount.
they're building huge churches now. There
No,
must
no,
be
no,
a
no.
temple
You
that
gotta-
exists
you gotta-
already.
you
that's
gotta
No,
build
it's,
it-
built
it's
you
the
gotta
Beis
build it-
HaMikdash.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to build it where the
Do
first
we
and
have a
second-
base of Mikdash again?
No, they have to do it there.
Oh, it's the Jewish third temple?
Yeah.
The Jewish
Oh,
third
it
temple,
is.
and that's evangelicals are breeding the red heifer. In Texas, they're breeding a
Yeah,
red cow.
that's what kind of drove
Because
it. That's what
you need
cranked
to make
it
a
to
sacrifice
11.
at the Beis HaMikdash of a red cow.
Because it says in the Bible
I
that,
feel like
that
they should have been able to do this already.
Well, Nick's saying they should try.
they
at
didn't
least.
have enough. First of all, the cows didn't even exist in Israel until the 1980s.
But they can't sacrifice a different cow?
No, it has to be a red heifer, and it has to be. You have to have a certain amount because you need that.
See,
You need that to purify all of the Jewish diaspora.
You know what my whole thing is? Listen, there's nothing I don't believe to a point of, like, if you told me there was an afterlife, I'm like, sure, that's just as plausible as
You
us
believe
being
Santa?
here. Like, whatever.
You said there's nothing you don't believe.
Look, it could happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Santa could happen.
It
So
could.
it doesn't
I don't
exist
know.
currently, but there could be a Santa.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything. But bottom
She's
line,
open-minded.
I'm
How about the
open
Nightmare
to,
Before Christmas?
Do you
I
believe
don't know
that?
what that
If there's Halloweenville, Halloween Town, and then Christmas?
Is it possible for Jack
that
Skellington
possible?
to go to Christmas land and then become Santa?
If there's an afterlife, it's as possible as that we're here. Okay. My whole thing with organized religions and their narrative like this, they need a red heifer cow or this and that, is like how specific. Like, I could understand to a religious person, okay, yeah, maybe there's something greater than us, whether it's a God, it's energy, it's whatever you think, I'm down. But to say like there's such a specific narrative, it's like Mary married this and had a baby, and then, you know, it's like, and the son and it's just like, it's too specific, the red heifer and this, it's like, it's too specific a narrative. If you had something more general, I can understand
it's
that.
the specificity that sort of bolsters the belief.
Yeah, it's a
like,
story.
From
It
the
makes it
outside,
into a
well,
story.
no, it's not because it's a story. From the outside, you're like, yeah, they need a red cow. I mean, it
Yeah.
just seems absurd and crazy. But if you're in the religion and the source of all of the red cow stuff and all of that specificity is also saying, over 75 years, these things will happen. And they seem specific, but you could like vaguely apply that to different times in history. Then these people, that's their entire community. It's like, okay, the state of Israel is created. Like there's a war from these outside nations, and Israel wins despite all odds, and like all of these things. It's like the specific.
Oh, so that was called sometime before, and then all these things are happening?
That's why I think it's on the rise, is because a lot of it, and it all comes from like Ezekiel and Revelation.
So these were like predictions that now we're seeing.
that are in the
you're
Bible.
saying. Oh, okay.
So evangelicals in America see this and they think it's happening now.
Yeah, but
know?
I mean,
happens-
at the bottom of it is just like a very basic, like thing that's true about human psychology, is that your brain is designed to solve problems and see connections in things. And so, like, there's always, especially if you're already involved in the religion, but you're going to look at something that says, like, oh, it says all of these things are going to happen, and you're going to try and make that true.
Right, exactly.
You know.
It's like when you start looking, it's like, oh, I always, I have a lucky number. I'm starting to see it all the time. Well, you're more into looking at it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't understand something so simple as that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like the idea will continue to persist. But the humanitarian secular answer is literally to just blow up that fucking mosque and just build the third
Well,
temple.
wait,
by
that
force.
mosque, can't that just be the third temple? What is it now, the
No,
mosque?
there's a specific design for the
Oh,
temple.
really?
But it's
Okay.
it's a mosque. It's not.
It's a temple, though.
It's not a. Yeah. But
Oh,
it's
it
not,
has to be a synagogue.
Yeah.
It
And it has to be where that
design
mosque is.
of-
But how long has that mosque been there?
Since 1,300 years.
So it's been there forever. So
Yeah.
why would it also be there?
The second temple was destroyed in the early turn, like right after
and they built
the
the
year
mosque
zero.
over that.
Like what year?
Did they build the
hundreds
mosque
of
over
years
that?
Later, 'cause
Okay.
It was the Babylonians that destroyed
You know
the
what? I
second
feel
temple.
like Hashem,
first
I
temple.
feel like
The
God
Romans
would
did the second.
understand if we built a third one. Let's say you believe this. I feel like God would understand, listen, it was already a thing there. We moved it over a couple of feet
Yeah.
and we built it here. Like, what kind of a God is not like, unless you get me my exact thing? What is he, like King Tut?
Well,
No.
God from 6,000 years ago.
Yeah. The God from the Old Testament is like a messy bitch.